By 100,000 years ago, the human population of Africa was small, perhaps no more than 10,000 breeding-age individuals, living in small bands scattered across the continent. They were in the early stages of developing skills that would prove invaluable when they began to leave Africa, probably following migrating animals they hunted for food. But how did our ancestors leave Africa? Or more precisely, where? Around the time of our ancestors' emergence, the Sahara Desert had expanded dramatically, and along with the deserts of Arabia, created a formidable barrier between Africa and the rest of the world.
You can see how cut off our ancestors were. This was our original homeland. Now, look at the size of the Sahara and then Arabia. Together, they form a massive obstacle, and yet, somehow, humans found a way from here to here. We just don't have any idea how they did it.
We know early humans found a way because of an extraordinary discovery near Mount Carmel in Israel. In the 1930s, while exploring caves called Skul and Kafsa, English archaeologist Dorothy Garrod found 10 Homo sapiens skeletons, all over 100,000 years old. To this day, these are the oldest human remains ever discovered outside Africa. But how did these people solve the challenge of the Sahara and reach the Middle East? Could they have followed the Nile River Valley north across the desert? Or perhaps crossed the Bab el-Mandeb Strait when sea levels were lower, narrowing the distance from Africa to Arabia? Recent discoveries of hand axes in the Arabian Peninsula may indeed point to the strait as an avenue of migration for early human wanderers. One of those discoveries occurred here at Jebel Faya, an ancient settlement site not far from Dubai. The scientist in charge is German archaeologist Hans-Peter Uerpmann. And what his team is discovering under this dry surface tells him this wasn't always a desert. The team has found artifacts from a 10,000-year-old agricultural society. But Uerpmann believes they would find evidence of far older occupations if they just dug deeper.
This surface reminded me of the situation which I had before in Oman. And this find made me think that we should go down under the Neolithic. And they started below the Neolithic, and all the way down here, there was nothing.
This is all sterile here.
It was all sterile.
Right.
And they started to complain. Why do we dig here? There is nothing. I told them, you go down as far as we can.
What did the workmen think?
Well, they thought he's crazy.
As they dug deeper, they began finding stone tools like this one.
So that looks like a hand axe to me, Hans-Peter.
At 120,000 years old, the axe is about the same age and type as those used by the Skul cave people in Israel. Although they have found no human remains here, Uerpmann believes the hand axes prove humans did take advantage of lower sea levels to cross into Arabia from East Africa.
There was a window at the time when the sea level was lowest. But we always think the low sea levels means cold conditions. That's for a while true. While the sea level goes down, it's cold. But as soon as it started to rise, it must be warm already.
And wet.
And wet. With the warmth comes the wet.
Uerpmann's team has found evidence that there was once flowing water at Jebel Faya, and this probably attracted animals and humans. In fact, It now seems possible several desert regions may have been far wetter in ancient times.